Greetings, friend. A Sudoku starting grid must have a minimum of 17 given digits. This puzzle is 18, which makes it barely legal. I'll show you 3 proven techniques you need to use to solve minimal digit Sudokus like this, including the significance of these green cells. Click below if you want to give this puzzle a go. And with that, it's solving time. Okay, first thing we want to look at are the ones. You have these 2 ones in columns 2 and 3, and this one in row 9. Means there's only one place left for a 1 in block 7. Next digit you want to look at are the 3s, and this is the first technique you're going to need to focus on quite a bit to make progress in a puzzle like this. You have these 3s cut across row 4 and down column 9. That means the 3s are limited to these 2 spots in block 6. And so I did Snyder notation. Anytime in 3x3 block, you have 2 possibilities for a candidate, you mark it. In case you solve one of those, you can solve the other one right away. The other thing this does is, since they're in the same row and block, this is a pointing pair. What means is a 3 has to be in one of these 2 spots. It can't be anywhere else along row 5. And so we're going to extend the grid, I call it. You're going to use what you know about candidates to make some eliminations outside of the block. And so a 3 cannot be in any of these spots now, because if you put a 3 here, you'd have no place to put a 3 in block 6. If you're new to the channel, welcome to Smart Hobbies. Subscribe if you want to turn your passing interest in Sudoku into a fun, enjoyable hobby. The next set of pointing pairs are going to be with these 4s. You got the 4 coming down here in column 6 and then across row 7, so 2 possibilities for a 4. So again, we're going to extend the knowledge we have with these 4. So now a 4 can't be in any of those spots in block 9. Let's do the same thing with the 5s. Yoshi gives us a lot of repeats here. You got the 5 cutting across and the 5 up. 2 possibilities for a 5 right there. So now 5s can't be in any of these 3 spots. And then with the 6, we're going to be able to make a solve. We have 2 6s here, and this 6, only place for 6 in block 3 is right there. And then with this 6 and this 6, we're going to come up to the second strategy you need to know to kind of extend and solve puzzles like this. You'll notice the 6 is in the same spot as these 4s. And whenever you have Snyder notation, same candidates in the same 2 cells, this is a hidden pair. And what it means is the 4 and 6 are now limited in block 8 to these 2 cells. And so they're hidden. You think there might be other candidates that can go here, but they can't, because you got to put a 4 in one of these and a 6 in the other. If you want exclusive puzzle packs using great techniques like these hidden pairs, then join the Smarty Party. Click on the link below. I do a monthly reward pack for members only. All right, after the nice hidden pair, let's look at the 8s. You'll see you have these 2 8s in rows 1 and 2, only one place for an 8 in block 3. And now with the 8 here and this 8, we can solve for an 8 in block 7. Awesome. And so we made all the marks. There are no given 9s, and that's okay. There's still a valid puzzle. So what you need to do is look at where there are restrictions to see if there's some limitations that we can do with these cells. So if you look right here, this is going to kind of help us out with these green cells. You'll notice you have a 1, 2, and a 3 right here. You have a 5, 6, 7, 8. And so this cell can only be a 4 or a 9. And then since you have the 2 and the 3 right here and the 2 and the 3 right there with this 5, 6, 7, 8, you'll notice that this can only be a 1, 4, or 9. And so what we just created here is a naked triple. 1, 4, 9 are limited to those 3 spots. Another way we could have looked at this is you could have saw this 2, 3 here, say a 2, 3 can't be in that cell. 2, 3 can't be in these 2 cells. So the green cells here would be a hidden pair. It all depends on how you look at it. So either you see the naked triple and you eliminate other candidates from the green cells, or you see the hidden pair, 2, 3, and you can still eliminate those same candidates. In this case, I saw the naked triple first, but the significance is now with this hidden pair, we're going to be able to make some more solves. All right. So let's get rid of the colors. And now I want to kind of show you the significance of this, of the green cells, and why I highlighted them. Is after making this, mark, we can do another round of pointing pairs. See how this 2 comes down here? We can make a pointing pair of 2s in row 9. And this is great because now the pointing pair intersects with our hidden pair, and we can eliminate a 2 from right there and solve this for a 3, which allows us to solve this for a 2, displace that Snyder 3. So this is a huge first step we need to make in this puzzle. And now I'm going to highlight 2 other cells because we got to work our way to our third technique that I haven't shown you yet that's really going to help us put more digits into this puzzle. And so I'm going to highlight this cell right here and this cell right here. The same technique is going to solve both of these. And we can do a little bit of work on the bottom one here because you see a 1-8 here and an 8 and 1 right there. That means the 1-8 are limited to those 2 cells. So that is a 1-8 hidden pair. So we know we're trying to figure out, is this going to be a 1 or an 8? I'm going to show you that here in just a bit. But I do want to thank Yoshi Baroshi for this wonderful puzzle. He was my Friday featured setter last month. I didn't get a chance to add this puzzle in. He submitted it. I wanted to include it in the new year because it's so much fun. Let's look at the 5s. You got this 5 cutting across. And so now the 5s are a pointing pair here in block 8. And so we can solve for 5 here in block 5, right? Because we have the 5s pointing up. You got these 5s pointing across. You have this 5 across here. So we can actually solve for a 5. You use both of these pointing pairs, and we're able to solve for the 5. Very cool stuff. Let me know in the comments how you did on this puzzle so far. I'd love to hear from you. I answer every comment in the chat. All right, let's look at these 6s. You got this 6 cutting across and this 6. And so we're going to have a pointing pair of 6s in block 5. And now you'll see the 5s can't be, the 6s can't be here. 6 can't be here. We can solve for a 6 now. And so we're going to, again, add some more digits here, which is very important. And now that with this 6, we can actually solve quite a few more. With these 2 6s and that 6, we can solve for a 6 right here. And then with these 2 6s and this 6 and the hidden pair of 6s, which acts as a pointing pair, you can't put a 6 there because you wouldn't be able to put anything, a 6 in those 2 cells. We can solve for a 6 right here. So we're able to solve quite a few more 6s. Now we want to see what we can do with the 3s. In block 7. So you got the 3 cutting across here. This is now a pointing pair of 3s. The pointing pairs extend our eliminations along with those hidden pairs in this next technique I'm going to show you. Let's look at now the 5 up here. We're going to 5B in block 2. All right, this is going to kind of help us out with solving this red cell. Well, you notice this 5 right here, that the 5 can be in one of these 3 spots, and I'll put it in blue. And if you notice with this 5, the 5 can only be in one of these 3 spots in block 3. And so what you'll notice is the 5s are limited to row 1 and row 2 here in block 1 and in block 3, right? 5 can't be here, can't be in row 3 because of this 5, and it can't be here because those digits are all filled out. And so whenever you see this case, it's kind of like they call a mini X-wing, but when you see this, you're going to end up with a claiming candidate situation here. If all 3 of these could be a 5, that'd be a claiming triple. If 2 of these could be a 5, you'd have a claiming pair because the 5 has to be in row 3 somewhere and it's limited to the same block. But if you only have one possibility of a 5, that's a claiming single. And so because of this 5 and the pointing pair of 5s that we just made, we can actually solve this red cell using a claiming single. You got to notice this though in order to see that you have, it's a type of hidden single, that claiming triple. So we'll remove that red cell. But again, we're going to do the same kind of thing to solve this cell here. Let's see how we can get to that. You look in column 4, working a 4 and a 5B. All right, you'll see with this 4, 5 here, that can't be a 4 or 5. And with this 4, 5, 4, 5 can't be there. So the 4, 5's got to be in one of those 2 cells. So it's another hidden pair, nice, which gives us a 3, 7, 9 right here. And you'll notice this can't be a 7, and this can't be a 3 because of the pointing pair of 3s, right? These 3s don't allow that to be a 3. That's going to be a critical step. We extend it by using these hidden pairs. We're extending our eliminations. And now let's look at block 9 here. Then we can solve this red cell. You'll notice that because these two's cutting across, and this 2 we can solve for 2 right here. If you look up here, these ones are like a claiming pair. Ones can't be in any of these spots in column 8 or 9. And then a 1 can't be here because of this one in row 4. So you can't have a 1 in column 8 in block 6. And so where can a 1 be now in column 8? Well, it can't be here or here because of these 2 ones. So this is another hidden single 1 that we can solve by noticing the ones cannot be in column 8 in these other 2 blocks. We know we can solve this for a 1, which allows us to solve that 4 and 8. But we're not done with the key strategies we need to keep applying to this puzzle. In fact, right here, you want to figure out which one of these can be a 2. You got a 2 here and a 2 here. I'm going to put these in green because it's important to figure out which one of these can actually be a 2. If we can do that, we're going to be able to solve many more cells in this puzzle. So in order to get that place, we just solved the 2 here. We got the 1, 8 right there. Let's start solving more of these 8s. There's only one place for an 8 now in block 6. We can solve that for an 8. And now with these 2 8s and this 8 here, we can solve for an 8 there. And with this 8, we can solve for an 8 here. And we took care of all of the 8s. And now if you look at this one, with this one cutting across, we have a pointing pair of 1s right here. Another pointing pair means 1s can't be there. And with this one cutting across and this one, there's only one place for a 1 in block 2, which we can displace that Snyder 1 and solve for a 1 right here in block 3. Now let's look at the 2s in block 8. You might notice a 2 can't be here. In column 6, it can't be here because of these 2s. And it can't be here because of this 2, and it can't be here because of these 2s. So we can actually solve a 2 right there in block 8. It's another hidden single, similar to what we did with the 5 and the 1. And what that's going to allow us to do now is you'll notice that these 2 cells cannot contain a 3 or a 5 because you got the 3, 5 here and a 5, 3 here. And so this has to be a 3 or 5. Well, I got another 3 there, so that's got to be your 3, and that's got to be your 5. And now with these 2 5s, we can solve for a 5 right there. With these 2 5s, we can solve for a 5 right there. And with these 2 5s and this 5, we can solve for a 5 right there, displacing the Snyder 5. So we solve for the 5 there, solve for the 4 right there. And now these 4s are a pointing pair. And so 4s can't be here anymore. You got that 4. And this 4, we can solve for a 4 here in block 2. Disambiguating the 6, 4 here. We're getting closer to these green cells now, right? Because now this 6 is going to displace that Snyder 6, which allows us to displace the Snyder 1. And now in the green cell, we can solve this for a 2. You notice how many digits we now have filled out in this grid, but we're not done. We still got more great solving to do here. With these 2 3s, we know this can no longer be a 3. That's got to be a 9. Displacing that Snyder 3, and now we can solve this cell for a 7. And now if we look across here, you need a 3 and a 9. The 3 is already in block 6. This has got to be a 3, and this is going to be your 9. Okay, what do we need here? It looks like we need a 4 and a 9. I got my 4. I'm going to pull it up here to block 4. So that's your 4, and that's your 9. These 2 9s mean we can solve for a 9 here, and we can disambiguate the 4, 9 up there, displacing that Snyder 4. See how that works? You put the Snyder marks in, you want to clean them up as quickly as you can, and it leads to more quick advanced solving. I have a full house here, only one missing digit. That's got to be a 7. So now these 2 7s, I know there's no 7 over here. I'm going to solve that for 7, solve this for a 1. Now I see 2 full houses coming down columns 8 and 9. So I know I can solve these 2 cells because there's only 1 digit left in both of them. I don't see a 9, so I'm going to pull that 9 down right there. I don't see a 4, I'm going to put the 4 right there. And now you look here and you go, I need a 2 and a 7. I also need a 2 and a 7 here. I'm going to do my right angle trick. Because you have a 7 right there, that's got to be the 2. This has got to be the 7 displacing that Snyder 2. We use this 7 to solve this cell. That's pretty cool. I love being able to do that. I see another full house here. I don't see a 7 in column 6. So we got to solve that 7. These 2 7s are going to allow us to solve a 7 right there. And now I got another full house across row 3. So that's got to be a 9. I don't see a 3 in block 1. Awesome. And that's our 3 in the corner. All right. I don't see a 9 in block 2. So we're going to solve the 9 there. We're going to pull it on down here to block 8 to solve that for a 9. Solve that for a 7. Awesome. We got 2 digits remain, a 2 and a 3. I'm going to pull that 2 up from block 5. And the last digit is a 3. Watch this next video to see how Yoshi Baroshi applied minimalism to another puzzle to make it a little bit harder. Thank you so much for watching.